What's up YouTube, this is the Upstart Goblin here, and today I got a video for you guys talking about the ban list. This video is actually stemming from a discussion I had with a good friend of mine, Gage. Some of you may know him as Gage X Scapegoat. I'll link his channel up there. If you're not already subscribed to him, you definitely should be. He's put some great stuff out. But we were talking about the ban list. He proposed a ban list that he thought would fix the meta, and we were discussing through it and looking at basically the types of cards that you see on the ban list is what I was getting at. So here I've put some of the banned cards and restricted cards into a few categories here. So if you take a look at this top row, this is the first category I'm going to identify. The cards that are on the restricted list, mostly to limit the resources that deck has to play with. I mean, I think we can all agree that none of the cards up in this top row are ban worthy necessarily, but they're all on the list mostly to make sure that the deck that uses them is being cautious with their plays. Those of you that were around for when Cleese first came out, and you had to get through 3 sacrifice, I mean, the card itself isn't broken, it's very, very good, but the problem was trying to get through 3 of them. So now that Cleese have to be more careful about when they're using their 1 sacrifice, that kind of restricts them more in a resource way than it does in a this card is actually way too good to exist way. The same thing with Scout. They put Scout at 2. Really, that doesn't matter all that much. I mean, if you think about it, you still have 5 cards in your deck that can get you a Scout. And you got the 2 Scouts and the 3 Summoners Art, and that's before Upstart Goblins. And if you don't know how much that fixes consistency, please check out my other videos. But I think what that hit was to do was to make sure that people wouldn't stop going crazy with the, oh, I'll just activate Scout and play another Pendulum and play Storm or Wavering Eyes. And I mean, if you have 3 Scouts, you're okay, a lot more okay with burning the first 2. But as soon as you start only having 1, then, I mean, you're still very consistent getting to it, but it's stopping your resources. I'd argue the same thing with Atlantean Dragoons. I'd argue the same thing with Infernity Barrier, because it was really annoying when they could just surge out 3 barriers. 1 barrier, that's fine. I really don't have a problem with them surging that. It's still a very good card. I'm not saying it's not good, but at the same time, it's only on the list because of how easy it was to get there. I'm going to say the same thing about Brionic. I mean, did hitting Brionic to 2 really do anything to Necroz's consistency? No, it really didn't. All it did was make sure that they're more cautious about when to use their Brionic, and they can't just keep doing it every turn unless they're also burning their Unicorns. I mean, if you think about it, 3 Monju, 3 Senju, 1 Prep, and Shurit, you plus your 2 Brionics, about 10 cards, 1/4 of your deck will get you a Brionic. As for Chaos Sorcerer, it's kind of been, it's been hopping all around the list for the past few years that I can remember, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 2 to 1. It's been everywhere. For right now, I see this at 2 as being more to limit any kind of Chaos deck. Expect a resurgence soon. But same thing with Archfiend, Moral Tag. I don't need to talk about the rest. You guys know what they are. The second row are cards that I have here because they are, at least in Konami's eyes, extremely powerful cards. And the way Konami has traditionally handled these extremely powerful cards has been to put them at 1, which in my opinion is just a terrible way of doing things. I don't remember who it was. I remember a few months, maybe even a year ago, one of the ARG writers put up an article about how Soul Charge should be a card that should be at 0 or 3. And this is an idea I totally agree. I think it was Patrick Hogan now that I think about it. I may be wrong. Correct me if I am. But Soul Charge is a card that should be at 0 or 3. And he made a pretty convincing argument, one that actually made a lot of sense to me. See, the argument is, for those of you who are too lazy to read the article or don't want to read the article, whatever, if Soul Charge is at 1, but every deck can still play it, it becomes a Saki card. If you want it to be a true test of skill, you should give both players a reasonable chance to have their Soul Charge, put it at 3, or give them no chance to have their Soul Charge, put it at 0. Basically, what it's doing by putting it at 1 is letting whoever has Soul Charge steal games. Whoever has the Soul Charge can steal games just because they drew it. And the same thing's true for a lot of cards. A lot of cards that are banned now, from the ones you remember, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Cold Wave, Giant Trunit, all the above. At some point in their time, all those cards that I just listed were absolutely game-breaking. And a lot of them still are now, to be honest. But if you've ever tried to play a Samurai Mirror match when Gateway was at 1, it's a nightmare. Whoever gets Gateway first wins. Same thing as the couple Dragon Ruler formats, when whoever got 6 cents won, whoever got return won. And that kind of puts it in a negative way for the game, because oftentimes you'll have players who aren't as good and didn't work as hard winning the games that they shouldn't. And that's what I don't like about putting some of these cards at 1. A lot of these I can understand. BLS I don't think is a problem at 1, but at the same time, that's mainly because of how limited it is to what decks can use it. I mean, Gear 2, this almost falls in the upper category as well too. So without getting too much into these are not the only 3 categories by any stretch of the term. But if you take a look at some of the other ones, a lot of cards are limited to stop loops and such. Like Card Trooper was originally limited to stop Troop Dupe Scoop, which was summon Card Trooper, activate Machine Dupe, mill 9. And that was pretty crazy. But the last category I want to at least identify are the ones that annoy me the most, to be honest. These are the cards that I don't think anyone's going to argue are particularly ban-worthy or need to be banned or need to get rid of, but they appear to be cards that Konami just got tired of seeing. I mean, Compulsory is an even trade that balances monster to the hand, so unless you're using it on an extra deck monster, you're going -1. Book of Moon was a 3 for a long time, and Konami actually put this in an article that I don't remember what list it was. There was one time where they put out an article explaining why they hit what they hit on the ban list, and some of the justifications were literally just, we get tired of seeing this card in every deck, so here, let's hit it. And I just don't agree with that. If a card's fair, you should leave it in play. You shouldn't take it out just because it's overplayed. And I understand Konami needs to push new products, but in the interest of fairness, what is a second Book of Moon doing to stop your new products from selling? And that's the big area of hits I don't agree with. And honestly, with the new Pendulum things coming out, that I don't know, I barely looked at them. The OCG's batshit crazy. But if you take a look, I'm pretty sure we're going to get more Bottomless or more Torrential or more something. But you just don't like to see the good playable cards, the ones that favor interactions between players, like all of these I have right here, besides maybe Skill Drain. All of these favor player interaction. And if you're taking that away in favor of brand new cards that you want to sell, then that's not really in the best interest for the game. So let me know what you guys think on this, because I'm curious to see what the community has to say. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to Gage, go check him out. It's got some great videos. Look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. That's all. See ya.